So the topic that has been given to me is quite broad, but hopefully I'll be able to do justice with my 30 minutes, 35 minutes max, by giving you a blueprint around operationalizing CX. How many of you believe that CX drives business? Raise your hands. Fully raise your hands. I'll give you a story so that you can always tell your CEOs, CXOs who may have a doubt on it. There was a guy called Dave Carroll, okay, in the US in 2008. He was traveling from one place to the other, and he was carrying his guitar. He was a part of the group, a band. And he saw the baggage handlers throwing the guitar. And eventually when he landed, obviously the guitar was broken. He followed up with United Airlines for 7 months, and nothing happened. Broken processes. Then what he did, he created a YouTube video which said, United breaks guitars. Uploaded on YouTube, achieved 29 million views, and the share price tanked by 10%. Okay, temporarily. But it was the impact of that video. And the dip was accounting for $180 million. And the guitar was costing $3,500. Okay? Now, let it sink in that any complaint or any problem with a customer not resolved, or if there's a problem with the fundamental product or the service, can result or can impact so massively. Moving on, I have a small disclaimer for you to read. This presentation definitely contains facts. I'll be giving examples, so they are pure facts. And definitely it may cause and it may not be suitable for. Okay? We all believe, my customers are very different, my customers are different, my geography is different, my customers are very sensitive, you get. So any one of those who believe this, or my customer journey is frictionless, please be careful. Okay. This is iPhone billboard. When iPhone launches in big markets, what they do is they just put these billboards. And the billboard just say, shot on iPhone. These are pictures shot by individuals on the latest iPhone, and they convert them into billboards. That's the customer experience starting point. Customer experience starting point is not when you walk into the showroom and you inquire about the cell phone. The experience starts much before, and this is how they generate experience. Simple billboard saying, shot on iPhone. 3 words, no specs, no features, no price. And it's a highly anticipated product. Would you agree? Correct? So that means the customer experience is embedded in the product or the service. It starts from the time when you start looking for the product, when you start searching for the product. That's when it starts. It doesn't start when you receive a call at the call center. Okay? So that's the first blueprint for CX leaders. That it starts from when the product is created, it starts when the product is promoted, and it never ends. The product is the experience. Okay, so as I said, CX doesn't begin when the customer calls. It begins the moment the customer starts anticipating that I need to buy this product or service. The billboard, the promise is made. And the promise is very simple. This is a superior product. Because if you can click a photograph and you can enlarge it to a billboard size, it's a superior product. That's what it is displaying constantly, without any jargons, without any text. The product, the promise is embedded, and then they deliver the promise. It's as simple as that. So when you are a part of CX, you start with the product and service and say, are we creating a billboard or are we not? Hours of waiting, we always believe that a turnaround time should be faster. Resolution time should be faster. People queue for iPhone. Yes or no? Are they concerned? No. The queue is an experience. The Q is an experience because people say that I will get it, irrespective of the weight. Let's convert it into healthcare. Suppose you are meeting the top cardiologist in Kenya. You go to a hospital. The guy is busy, of course, because he is the top guy. You wait for 3 hours. You meet him. You come out so satisfied. Was your experience bad in waiting? Why should I even measure it? Should I? These are fundamental things that we need to understand and ask, what is my customer experience? Okay? What is the value driver of the business? What is the value driver for the customer? Are we delivering that value? Some of these small transactional stuff can be ignored. CX efforts are inversely proportional to the quality of the products and service. Okay? Now, you need to see if you're having too many calls, you know who to blame. If you have too many issues and complaints and repeat calls, you know what to blame. And that is where CX leaders need to drive improvements by correcting the product, because CX experience is inversely proportional. How many of you have given a call to the biggest telecom operators in Kenya? All of you, right? Have you seen their latest experience? The biggest telecom operator is struggling with the mobile application that they have launched. See, now the was loud. Right? Experience, right? If the fundamental product is fine, experience is inversely proportional. Because if the product is wrong, you start looking at experience, you are handling exceptions. The entire CX journeys are being made on exceptions. How will I enable a call center agent to become more efficient? Why do I need so many calls? What is the right question to ask? How can I reduce the number of calls? Whether through automation, whether through analytics, whether through AI, whether through bigger, better products and services. Okay, carry on. These are GDP numbers. Everybody understand GDP? Gross domestic product. GDP per capita. So there are 3 countries. One country is at $89,000 per person. $89,000 a year per person. The remaining 2 countries are $2,800 and $2,500. If I have to compare, which two countries are comparable? The bottom 2, right? Guess the countries. The top one is which one? The US. The next 2 are which ones? Okay, the next 2 ones are Kenya and India. Okay, that's the GDP. Why I'm highlighting this data, it's extremely important for CX professionals. It is extremely important for founders and businesses. This is the economy that we are catering for. I will give you some more numbers. Your CX experience has to deliver to that economy, not to this economy. Replicate practices which are applicable for that economy. Don't pick up and replicate practices for this economy. Because in this economy, customer can demand. They can. $3,500, the guy can sue you. In Kenya, in India, you break the baggage, then the airline may sue you. That why were you carrying a bad baggage? Okay. Percentage of population that earning greater than $3,500 per month is 50%. And percentage of population that is earning 70,000 Indian rupees, I have done the purchase power parity, so it's equivalent to $3,500 a month, is 5%, less than 5%, and for Kenya, it is less than 2%. So if less than 2% population is earning greater than 100,000 shilling a month, can they demand experience? What kind of experience will I be able to provide? Because I cannot charge them for experience. I cannot ask them that you pay extra because I'm giving you extra experience. And this is the population that we are catering for. Let me give you another data points. This one is the common element that customers look for across geographies, across industries, Across demographic segments, across economic segments, every customer looks for value for money. The elements for value for money may differ. For a Kenyan, the element of value for money will be very similar to an Indian, but that value for money may not be very similar to a US guy because of the purchasing power, because of the consumer power in terms of money. Have you defined this for your business? For example, I was giving an example of healthcare. If you are meeting the top doctor, waiting time is not value for money. Meeting the doctor and getting the right diagnosis is value for money. The guy will pay extra to even wait for 2 days, provided you get me an appointment with that guy. Yes or no? Then why should I even measure the turnaround time? Okay. In airlines, whether it is business class or whether it is economy, what is the value for money for a business class passenger? Anybody? Just wild guess. Comfort. Okay. Anybody else? Sorry? Priority. Right? But if the airline is always delayed, will these matter? So in India, there is an airlines where anybody who is above 6 feet or anybody who is above 5'10" will find it extremely uncomfortable. Extremely uncomfortable. They don't provide anything. You have to purchase, but they fly on time. Guess the market share that they have? 60%. They are an extremely profitable airlines in India. So they have mapped what is the value driver for a whether it's a business class, whether it is economy. They don't have a business class. They have cramped economy. But they fly on time. Optimized ticket price and they fly on time. Because they are catering to that 87-90% of the population of India. Right? Business class population is very small. Okay, this is another interesting statistics. Poor is categorized as, by the way, this because of the stretch of the slides on it has moved up and down, but I hope you will be able to manage that. And I think the below was, so there was another element. I don't know why it's not coming. But what it is showing is that the poor percentage was only 1% in US, which is earning less than $2 per day. And people who are earning greater than $50 per day is approximately 55% of the population, which is the remaining, which was left out because of the presentations. But in India, it is just 0.2%. People who are earning greater than $50 a day is just 0.2%. These are your consumers. These are the people who will go into the apparel business and they will buy an apparel. They will go to the shopping malls. They will buy an insurance. Rest of the population, they just can't afford. In Kenya, it is just 1%. 1% of the population is earning more than $50 a day. So what will they be looking at? How can you give them CX experience which matters? What is their value driver? What is their value for money? An interesting chart for you guys to replicate. Ability to pay and CX approach. If the ability to pay, and I've just mapped all the different kind of businesses, retail, quick service retail, telcos, insurance, healthcare, small businesses and luxury hotels. Ease, convenience, and consistency. These should be the value drivers for CX. How they need to be done? They cannot be done only by people. They have to be done by technology and people. But how do you optimize technology and people to drive this piece and forget about personalization? Trust me, personalization is only for luxury hotels. Whenever you are catering for mass product, there is no personalization. The moment you start focusing on personalization, you will just be spending too much money without much returns because the consumers cannot pay that extra amount for that extra service. So why do I need to create systems and processes and SOPs and protocols for personalization? And the business obviously wants it at low cost and at par with competitors. Why I'm highlighting that at par with competitors? You know, in telcos and in insurance companies, I don't know about the situation here. Luckily, I'm one of those lucky few who have never reached out to Airtel for any issue so far. But in India, telcos, insurance companies, retail, how they operate is, I am bad at my customer service because others are worse. So I'm okay. As simple as that. They don't want to be good. You'll give a call to the IVR, you know what the experience is, right? Why do we have that kind of experience? Because they cannot cater to everybody. It's a huge cost. So some of these solutions that have been shared, they fit perfectly. If you want to give a better CX experience, but at an optimized cost. So that is why it's the business believes at par with the competitor. I should not be bad. If they are bad, I'm okay to be bad. Now map the businesses in the East, forget about the West. Okay. And that is what I believe. But so this is a business which has disrupted the insurance market. They did a 648.2% ROI, broke even very quickly. Insurance businesses, these are brokers. This is one of the big broker in India. And what they were focusing on, they don't sell. You give a call to their call center, they will fix a call with you, they will have a chat with you for 30 minutes, 35 minutes. And these people, I recently had an experience, the lady said that I have to delay the call. She messaged me. I said, it's fine, half an hour delay because of the Google Meet, because I'm sitting here and she's coming from India. And then she said, sorry, I had to take my dog to the doctor. I said, it's absolutely fine. You see, genuine. Now, who are these guys? These are young people who may be operating from their homes. But they have been trained so well, they don't sell. For the first time in 14 years of my medical insurance, for the first time somebody told me there's something called health inflation. Do you guys know what is health inflation? Insurance people definitely will know. Me, I didn't know what is health inflation. Me, I knew that, okay, I'm paying X amount of premium per year, and it's going to continue like that. But it started changing. Then they said, now you're in a different health bracket, age bracket. So the premium goes up, the risk goes up. Then they said that, have you received a cumulative bonus? I was like, what do you mean by that? My insurer never told me. I called my insurer, they said, can you see on the policy, it's called CB percentage. I said, what do you mean by CB percentage? I don't know what CB is. Cumulative bonus percentage, 100%. They never told me anything. Now when I got the information, I called the insurer back, and then they were able to give me a better product. And this broker told me, it is advisable for you to continue with your existing, don't switch. Genuine, honest customer experience. They are being rated as 4.8 by 12,000, more than 12,000 people on Google reviews. Okay? The name of the company is Ditto. Ditto. D-I-T-T-O. India's largest retail stockbroker. 11 million customers, only 35 people in tech. They don't have a call center. Their user interface and the user experience on the app is extremely superior, extremely superior. They disrupted the market. The founders are billionaires, US dollar billionaires, bootstrapped company, did not spend a single dollar in marketing. Superior product. Once you have superior product, your customer experience is inversely proportional. Whatever you ask for, within 24 hours, it's delivered to you. People are willing to wait, provided they get it. Consistency is important. Honesty, transparency, consistency. If you are providing consistent service, experience is good. I was doing student housing. You go to any Quetu, and I have a colleague of mine here, Vidyana can vouch for it. She was driving it. You go to any Quetu with a luggage, the security guard will immediately come to help you. Was that his job? No. Why is he going and showing commitment? That's experience, consistent experience. We are not going all out doing multiple things for the students, but standardized, consistent experience in a very cost-optimized fashion delivered. So it is intuitive, it is ease and convenience. 80% of the CEOs, they believe they give a great experience. Only 8% of the customers believe. Now that's the switch. I'm sure Safaricom CEO will be believing that they have done an amazing job. Now that's most of the companies, insurance, banking, because they have so many consumers. So what they do is they create their processes based on exceptions. I have to reduce cost, increase IVR tree. Don't let the customer find number 9, press 9 to reach the agent. Do not allow that, because the moment the agent comes in, there's a cost. Correct? That's how the IVRs have been designed. That's how the processes have been designed, re-engineered to reduce cost, but based on exceptions. Never ever create processes based on exceptions. Improve the product. Acquiring a new customer is 5 to 25x more expensive than retaining one. This is somebody sitting in an art cafe, nice couple. They're having a good meal. Suddenly the guy who's serving comes. He says, how's your food? Boss, I'm eating. Can I say it's bad and I'm eating? I will obviously say it is good, right? And you are saying experience captured. We are serving great food. I mean, who has taught them? Is that the customer experience that is being taught? And it is there, correct? I'm sure you were. Even here, the moment I have finished my plate, immediately the guy comes. Can I remove it? Hey guy, relax, man. Maybe I'm going for the second helping. They don't want you to go for second helping because somebody has told the guy may eat 10% more. Cut it. Remove the plate immediately. So it makes the person embarrassed to go and fetch a new plate. Correct? I mean, customers will observe this and they will carry this perception later on. Business class, they welcome you. Priority check-in. Correct? They do that. Then they give you lounge access, nice fancy food. And then what happens? They ask you to rate NPS in the flight itself. I traveled by Qatar. Once you land, they show you the screen. Rate your experience. Boss, my experience has not ended. It will end only if I receive my baggage. But they say our NPS is great. Then my baggage is delayed. Nobody bothers this experience. Yes or no? Across airlines, nobody is bothered about this experience. But it is also a part of the experience. Now that's how CX professionals and leaders should start visualizing. What is the value for the customer and are you looking at end to end? This was a GE story. GE said we did some 15 black belt projects and we have improved the experience of the customers. They were manufacturing engines, aircraft engines. So when the aircraft used to land, they used to take the engine out, they used to maintain, come back with the engine, fix the engine. Aircraft used to fly. The customer said, you may have done whatever. You may have reduced the turnaround time for maintenance, but my time when the aircraft lands and the aircraft takes off has not changed. And that is exactly what we do. We have many KPIs, many departments, everybody is looking at their own experience. I saw an ad by one of the banks, I will not name that bank, it says, loan approval in 5 minutes. God, you cannot do it, man. Why are you committing? 5 minutes from where? From when? How are you measuring it? Customer walking in or customer submitting the entire documentation set? After all the feedback taken. I mean, why do you even promote that? It's a bad customer experience from the moment you put it on billboards. So they said, they came up with a term, it's called door to door, not wing to wing. Not engine to engine, but door to door. The aircraft, when it lands, when the passengers come out, till the time the passengers go in, which is from the door, till the time the aircraft goes off. Again, that's the turnaround time. Align with customer. Don't align internally. Me, I can resolve credit cases in 5 minutes. I mean, guys, really? Then you will cancel all the cases, sales guys will be after your life, and then you will have an amazing customer experience for the customer. This is a tool that I highly, highly, highly recommend everybody. It starts with the customer. For every process, every process, by the way, there are not more than 2 or 3 processes in the organization. You start with the customer. What is the output that the customer is looking at? And then you define your process. We always consider the outputs that business is looking for. And that's where we start creating processes based on exceptions, not aligned with customer value proposition. And what we start off with, SLAs, SOPs, start with the customer. This is another example, a story from a hotel where I worked. I'm a hotel management graduate. I worked as a chef for the initial 1.5 years of my life. The best experience, if you have to take or get in hospitality, must visit India and stay with Oberoi's. They hire for empathy, they train for knowledge, and they empower. Now, empowerment is a very vague word, but they have also simplified it as a process. They call it extreme empowerment. How many of us can actually vouch that we empower our teams? They go for extreme empowerment. The person who is serving you, if he assesses that the person is not happy, the person has a right to waive off the entire bill. Just waive off. Customer should be happy. They have housekeeping people being given a few hundred rupees or few thousand rupees, depending on the type of rooms, to actually spend on that customer. So what they do is they go in, they see the customer has put in his headphones somewhere. By the time the customer comes back, it's a nice pouch that they deliver with the headphones in it, and they say, heartfelt Oberoi's. We saw your headphones were lying, here it is. They see that we saw your shoes were not polished, we have polished, small note, heartfelt Oberoi's. So they look out for opportunities to spend the money. It's a process that they have created which shows extreme empowerment to the customer. How they link that is so amazing. I learned two things from that hotel: moment of truth and eye for detail. CX revolves around these two: eye for detail and moment of truth. How will you create that in your process end to end? That's the challenge for you guys. And there is no CX strategy without empowered employees, clearly. We empower employees and say, what if that guy does a fraud? I'll ask you a question. In sales, you have seen that people have daily per diem limits, right? Transportation and per diem limit. If you set a limit, you will see 99% of the employees consuming that limit. Netflix, for their employee policy, has a single line employee policy says, in the best interests of the company. They don't have defined any limit. And if I say that there is no limit, I mean, you will always be so conscious. What if I spend 2,000 today? The company may say, what is this? So they will automatically curtail, but they also feel empowered. So there are many ways to make employees empowered, which is a critical aspect for delivery of CX. Quick exercise to wake you up. All call center people, which agent is the most efficient? Get your calculators, tick, 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 tick. CC experience and more tenure helps achieve efficiencies. Correct? You imagine all these are transactional points. Now I'll bring the customer value proposition. It changed, right? Which agent is the most efficient now? That means experience, tenure, doesn't matter. Correct? A lot of us, we don't see from a customer perspective first. This was just a quick exercise to highlight, start with the customer. Customer doesn't want no complaint to be repeated, correct? Why should the customer call you again? But we always look at the other factors and not look at a comprehensive picture because we have never considered the customer in it. And we decide, we should hire people from call center experience because they are better. Correct? Just as a trigger point. Align KPIs with what's important for the customer. Quick, another tool. How to analyze customer surveys? Everybody understands mean and standard deviation, hopefully. If you have done statistics till standard 8th, right? So mean high, low, standard deviation, low, high. If both are low, it's a process issue in your survey data. If the mean is low, standard deviation is high, it's process and people issue. If it is both high, it's people issue. A high mean and low standard deviation is ideal. And once you analyze this data, you will realize people are not the problem. Processes are. Always take this back and say, people are not the problem. Can I re-engineer my process? Key skills, understanding tech, data understanding, and influential leadership are the key skills for your CX professionals. Design CX. Start looking at designing CX, designing products, designing services, designing user interfaces, designing UIs, filtering voice from noise. That's data. You should always be able to get the right data to filter noise from voice. There's too much of noise. A complaint coming from the CEO becomes so urgent and important. Hey, yeah, but that's just one case, man. You should be able to highlight so confident to the CEO that this was an exception. Why are we jumping on it? Right? This is my last slide. The question for every leader in this room: what is your shot on iPhone? Design everything around it. Thank you very much. Any questions? If I have time, otherwise somebody can raise the hand and say my time is over. Time up? Okay. No questions. Right? Thank you very much.